Hello, my dear followers, and welcome back to Turkish Spotlight Secrets. Settle in, because all the details are right here. Make sure you're subscribed and tap the like button so you don't miss a moment. Before we dive into today's story, let me tell you what set the entire industry buzzing. After weeks of whispers and a steady drum of speculation, Gökberk Yıldırım finally spoke plainly about his personal life, stepping in front of cameras and catching both fans and the press off guard. In a moment that instantly dominated the headlines, he addressed the rumors about his love life for the very first time and revealed what everyone had been trying to guess from the outside. He didn't drag it out. He didn't hide behind ambiguous answers or coy smiles. He took a breath, looked straight ahead, and said the sentence that would ignite the internet: "Seamra isn't who you think." The room froze for a heartbeat, and then he clarified with the certainty of someone done with speculation. He wasn't alluding to a stand-in, a mystery influencer, or an unverified face in a blurred photo. He meant exactly what he said. It is actress Seamra Arda. From there, the confession unfolded like a door finally opening. Gökberk Yıldırım shared his feelings without evasion, and his voice held that restrained tremor of someone admitting something precious in a very public arena. He explained that misunderstandings had trailed him for months, that people kept attaching him to the wrong name, the wrong story, and that the truth had always been far simpler and far deeper. Misunderstandings happen. People took a name and built a narrative around it, but the reality is completely different. The emotional bond one share with Seamra Arda has opened a new chapter in my life. There's something rare between us, something that feels honest and steady, and I'm glad to finally share it. The second those words made their way online, the reaction was immediate. Fans were shocked and thrilled in equal measure, replaying the clip, analyzing the smallest details, and flooding comment sections with messages of support. The tone shifted from rumor to celebration. It didn't take long before praise for the pair overflowed across platforms, with people writing that this love felt sincere, grounded, and quietly powerful. "Their love goes beyond the screen" became the phrase people kept returning to, as though the line itself captured exactly what they were seeing. Two actors known for their performances now revealing a connection that looked more real than any scripted moment. Still, even in the middle of that excitement, people wanted to know why it took this long for them to confirm. That question finally found its answer during a press meeting that had been scheduled for a project update and became something far more personal. Standing beneath the soft glare of stage lights, with a row of microphones lined up like a chorus, Gökberk Yıldırım spoke calmly about privacy and pressure. "Everyone was curious," he said, "but curiosity doesn't get to decide how two people live. We live our life the way we want. We wanted to keep what we have safe from noise, from pressure, from the misunderstandings that can grow when every look is read and every breath is dissected. What we share is built on sincerity. That's the core of it." Those words landed with weight, and for a moment the relentless energy of the room softened. His commitment to privacy and honesty struck a chord not only with fans but with the reporters themselves, who seemed to understand the delicate line he and Seamra Arda had been walking. While he laid out his truth, one person stayed silent, at least officially. Seamra Arda did not release a formal statement in the hours that followed. Instead, she did what she often does when the noise gets loud: she let her actions speak subtly. On her social media, a restrained cascade of signs appeared that felt as unmistakable as any press release. A black and white snapshot from a quiet street. A caption that read like a line from a poem about finding light where you didn't expect it. A soft like on a clip from his interview. She followed none of it with a declaration, none of it with a long explanation, and yet the meaning came through. Fans watched and waited for the first photo of them together after the confession. They waited for an update, for a hint embedded in a story or the edge of a frame, for something that would turn this bright moment into a shared milestone. As all of this unfolded, magazines and entertainment shows couldn't keep up with the rush. By afternoon, the confession had become the centerpiece of the day's coverage, and by evening, it had taken over the conversation entirely. It wasn't just that a rumor had finally been confirmed. It was the manner of it, the gentle certainty, the refusal to perform the spectacle of scandal, the steady insistence on sincerity. Editors scrambled to rewrite headlines. Commentators replayed the clip. Stylists pulled archives of their red carpet looks for side-by-side features. It was one of those rare pop culture moments where everything aligned, where a celebrity story didn't need shock tactics to keep people listening. And it all began with a sentence that will be quoted for a long time: "Seamra isn't who you think." That line sounded like a riddle at first, as if it were pointing toward yet another twist, and yet it turned out to be the simplest truth. She is not the illusion that gossip tried to make her. She is not the rumor or the coded blind item. She is Seamra Arda, the woman he chose to name out loud. In private, those who know them say the timeline makes sense. Their first spark was not a firework but a slow-burning ember, the kind that doesn't demand attention and yet survives every gust of wind. On set, they were respectful and careful. In public, they deflected. In their messages, they carved out small pockets of honesty, building a language that belonged only to them. When the pressure mounted, when a photo was taken at the wrong angle, when a familiar car was spotted outside a cafe, when a single glance turned into a thread of speculation, Gökberk, Yıldırım and Seamra Arda kept choosing quiet. It wasn't secrecy for the thrill, it was protection for the thing they didn't want to lose before it had a chance to grow. That choice came with its own costs. Whispers can turn heavy when they go on too long. Stories can bend under the weight of assumptions. Yet even then, their plan held. She would focus on her craft. He would show up, do the work, and leave the set the way he came in. When someone asked about his heart, he would smile politely and change the subject. Sometimes he looked tired of it, sometimes he looked simply determined. And now we know why. When the press conference began, you could tell he was ready. He didn't raise his voice, didn't weave drama into his words. He let the truth carry itself. He didn't sell the moment as a spectacle because it didn't need to be one. Perhaps that's why fans responded with so much warmth. They saw a man speaking clearly and a woman choosing her moments with care. They recognized authenticity when they felt it, and they leaned in. And even those who still wanted details, the exact date their friendship shifted, the sentence that changed a private conversation, the first night they allowed themselves to breathe in the possibility, found themselves softened by the bigger answers. Why did they keep it quiet? Because sometimes that's the only way love learns to stand. Why now? Because waiting without losing yourself is its own kind of promise, and a promise fulfilled becomes an announcement that needs no permission. Since that day, their names have moved together through every headline. Stylists imagine what they'll wear when they finally step out as a confirmed couple. Journalists map out the timeline that no one can truly chart from the outside. Fans post edits, threading their on-screen moments with quiet instrumentals, and write captions about how fiction can sometimes be the doorway to real feeling. Through it all, Gökberk Yıldırım's tone remains steady, respectful, protective, unabashedly proud. Through it all, Seamra Arda's presence remains clear even in silence. She posts a shadow, a skyline, a lyric, and somehow each feels like an answer. There's a calm that arrives when a rumor finally finds its truth. And yet, there's also an electric charge, a sense that this is the beginning of a new chapter that will be watched closely. Those who admired them separately are now ready to watch them together, and the question isn't if they will share more, but when and how. Will there be a photo with no caption, just sunlight caught on a sleeve? Will there be a short note that says nothing more than "we're here"? Will there be a moment on a red carpet where no words are needed at all? The mystery remains, but the foundation is set. What matters most, and what might be the reason this story has captured so many hearts, is the shape of their honesty. He didn't cloak it in spectacle. She didn't chase a headline. Together, they answered a question many tried to ask for them. The bond between them is not a performance borrowed from the screen, but something made in the quiet, in the everyday, in the spaces where two lives learn to turn toward each other. And when you listen closely, you can hear that this is exactly what they wanted to protect. So remember how it began. Remember the breath, the pause, the way the room held its air. Seamra isn't who you think. The words felt like a riddle because every rumor is a puzzle, but the truth is simple. She is not the specter people tried to paint, she is her own name, and he wanted you to have it without confusion. From that moment on, everything changed. The interviews, the timelines, the speculative posts, they all had to bend toward reality. And if you're wondering what comes next, join the club. We're all waiting together now. Waiting for the photo, the glimmer, the detail that makes this new chapter settle into place. Waiting for the way he will look at her when they step into a light they chose, not the kind that hunted them. Waiting for the caption that may never come, because at the end of the day, what they've told us might be enough. They are here. They are careful. They are honest. They are not performing a myth, they are writing their own story. That's today's update, and you heard it here on Turkish Spotlight Secrets. Gökberk Yıldırım's confession didn't just thrill his fans, it reshaped the conversation, turned rumors into clarity, and placed this love story at the center of the entertainment world's attention. From a sentence that sparked the frenzy to a promise of sincerity that steadied it, this is a chapter that will echo in the days to come. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and for more updates from the world of Turkish celebrities, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, take care. I love you.